Welcome to the Road Less Traveled Cooking channel. Buena nombre. Today we're gonna make a burnt Basque cheesecake or tarta vasca using only Costa Rican ingredients. First thing first, we're gonna turn on the oven. It's gonna be 420 degrees Fahrenheit or 220 degrees Celsius. What makes this cheesecake special is we're using goat cheese from Rancho Avellanas. It's the best. And also queso crema de Costa Rica. A lot of cheese, yes. The more cheese, the better. With the cream cheese, we're gonna add our own homemade miso. My personal opinion is the most underrated ingredient in desserts is salt. I feel like people hardly ever add enough salt. So instead of salt, we're using our own homemade miso paste. The goat's cheese adds a more savory note, and the miso adds this umami taste. We're gonna beat this for a few minutes. The idea is that you want the cream cheese to be super smooth, super creamy. Ideally, you should have all your ingredients at room temperature. Here in Costa Rica, it doesn't take a long time for your ingredients to get to room temperature, so you can take it out an hour before. If you're in other places in the world, maybe you want to take it out even the night before. Well, of course, the flavor. The fresher your ingredients, the better your final product will taste, 100%. And to use artisanal ingredients from this area, from here from Guanacaste, from Costa Rica, is amazing. It's such a privilege. Vanilla, also from Costa Rica. This is from San Carlos. It's super aromatic. If you if you zoom in, you can see it's actually shining. It looks like it has little diamonds. The burnt Basque cheesecake is one of the easiest recipes you can make. All you need is a KitchenAid, and you literally just put all the ingredients in, whip it together, bake it for 30 minutes. The most challenging part of the recipe is that you have to leave it to set overnight in the fridge. So yeah, you kind of have to have a little bit of patience to wait till the next day in order to eat it. But yeah, it's so worth it. It's one of my favorite things to make ever, and you can add any flavors, any ingredients that you like. Some people will say that the order in which you put the ingredients doesn't really matter too much. Personally, I disagree. I mean, it's not going to make a huge difference in the flavor, but for me it will come across in the texture, and like it will take a good tasting cheesecake and turn it into a great one just by changing the order of the ingredients. I mean, if you do mess up the order, don't worry, it's gonna be totally fine. The most important part is that you really beat the mixture for a very long time because you want it to be as smooth as possible. And the longer you beat it for, the more smooth the cream cheese and the sugar will also dissolve. Yeah. Okay, so it's much easier to incorporate the vanilla if you mix it first with the sugars. Again, we're just trying to make the work in the KitchenAid the easiest as possible. Pro tip for your vanilla veins is that you can add them to a bottle of rum or vodka to make your own vanilla extract. That. So we're going to take our whisk the vanilla through the sugars. and then add it to the cream cheese that is now super smooth. And you can see the miso is completely incorporated as well. It's a slightly brownish color. He's like his mouth. So the reason why we're adding the sugar next is because we want the sugar to dissolve. So we're trying to beat it for, as long as possible so that your cheesecake is as smooth as possible. For me, it's kind of sophisticated, but also it's a classic. It's a classic, but it just doesn't get old. And honestly, you can have it for any occasion. I feel like this cheesecake is the hipster in the group. It's like someone who's not afraid to do something different, not afraid to be outside of the box. Yeah, people are afraid of mixing like salty, more savory ingredients with dessert, but honestly, I think it makes them so much more interesting, so much more fun. Next, we're going to add the eggs. Again, farm fresh eggs. If you can get organic, free-range eggs, it's going to be so much better. And finally, the cream. Now we're just going to beat it for maybe 1 more minute so that everything is fully incorporated. We're going to prepare the pan. You want to have 2 pieces of baking paper. Because we're cooking the cheesecake on a super high temperature, we want the top to be super caramelized and burnt, but not the bottom. That's why we're going to use 2. You can rinse it under some water. This helps fold the baking paper into the pan. It doesn't have to be cut perfectly. It can be really rustic. The important part is just that it covers the entire pan and that it's pushed down well into the edges. That's why you want to wet it first. Now you want to double check the texture of your batter. You want to make sure that the edges are all incorporated. So you're gonna scrape down all the edges, especially the bottom, to make sure that all the ingredients are mixed through. Here you can see I have some lumps, so that's what you're checking for. You're just gonna scrape it off like this. And mix it 1 more time. Again, double checking. You're gonna just beat the air out and then pour it in. That is super smooth and there are no lumps. All right, ready for the oven. Cheesecake's in the oven. Perfect time for a holy beer. Está rico. But yeah, so I don't like the New York cheesecake. I think it's super rich, super sweet. So I don't know if that's the one that you've tried. Yeah. But the burnt Basque is like, because it's caramelized on the top, and the texture is not so like dense and heavy. It's way more creamy, light. So that's why I really love it. See, I was not prepared for that. On my first day, we were going to look at the mercados, and then the manager was like, yeah, so can you meet the head baker tonight at 10 p.m. in the kitchen? And I was like, yeah, sure, like what are we what are we doing? And he's like, yeah, that's when your shift is starting. And I was like, what at 10 p.m. at night? Because yeah, that's when we did all the laminations, baked cheesecake in the night, so that you have to let it set overnight, so then the next morning it's ready. You have to wait until tomorrow. That's probably the hardest part about making the cheesecake. It's not it's not actually making it, it's waiting till the next day to eat it. Woo! So this is the classic cheesecake jiggle that you want to see. When it comes out the oven, it's gonna jiggle a little bit. If you tap it, you can feel that it's soft, but not raw. And it's gonna firm up. You really want it to smell caramelized. If you want this color to be pretty dark, like brown, and you'll see it's already starting in like 1 minute. The edges here are already starting to firm up, so that's a good sign. And now you have to wait till tomorrow. Well, this is our tarta Basque with local ingredients from Costa Rica, but I encourage you to make this with local ingredients from your region. Take a photo, upload it to social media, tag us, and you could win a seat here at the Road Less Traveled, where we make this cheesecake for you and many other things.